Tonight's top news headlines. Sarawak Premier calls for collective responsibility to maintain peace in South China Sea. Cambodia seeks Sarawak cooperation in developing agricultural sector. Cambodia proposed direct Kuching Phnom Penh flights once AirBorneo operations begin. Assalamualaikum and good evening. We start tonight's headline with the historic 24th ASEAN-China Senior Officials Meeting. Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari Tun Datuk Abang Openg said Sarawak fully supports Malaysia's efforts to strengthen peace, stability and constructive cooperation in the South China Sea. Responsibility for the South China Sea is collective and requires the cooperation of all interested countries to maintain peace in the area.
Indeed, it was our firm belief that this meeting signifies our collective effort to realize our shared commitment to peace, stability, and constructive cooperation in the South China Sea. This region actually, to me, is our shared home. And together, we have the responsibility to ensure it remains a sea of peace and prosperity.
He said this when speaking at the Sarawak Gala Dinner in conjunction with the 24th ASEAN-China Senior Official Meeting on the implementation of the Declaration of Conduct (DOC) at a hotel here on Wednesday night. Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari added that the principle was in line with the neutrality policy that began after the 1955 Bandung Conference, which introduced the concept of the Zone of Peace, Freedom and Neutrality (ZOFUND), an approach that he said was still relevant in Asia today and was the basis for regional relations based on mutual respect. Meanwhile, when met by reporters, he explained that any activities by foreign countries in the South China Sea involving Malaysian waters would be discussed in accordance with international law.
Dan saya percaya bahawa mesti ada penyelesaian di atas kemungkinan ada kelemahan-kelemahan yang berlaku. Tadi Datuk Amran menyebut dengan compliance to international law. Dan kalau perbincangannya within that framework, sudah tentu ia akan menjadi menang-menang kepada dua pihak. Dan dalam ucapan saya pun saya kata shared responsibility.
Meanwhile, Cambodia has requested cooperation with Sarawak to develop its agricultural sector, which will mutually benefit both parties. Cambodia's Senior Minister in charge of Special Mission Islamic Affairs, Datuk Dr. Othman Hassan, said that Cambodia currently has ample agricultural products, especially rice and cashew nuts, but is facing difficulties, particularly in the processing stage.
Yang kita perbincangan tadi, Yang Berhormat akan hantar satu tim untuk study di atas nak buat processing padi, milling dekat sana, atau dua-dua, kerana Kamboja ada padi banyak yang dulu kita ekspor kepada Thailand dan kita ekspor kepada Vietnam. Kalau kita boleh buat proses itu padi dekat sana, jadi satu benda untuk kita boleh diekspor ke mana-mana nanti juga.
He said this in a press conference after paying a courtesy call on Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari Tun Datuk Abang Openg at the Satria Pertiwi complex on Thursday. Datuk Dr. Othman added that Cambodia produced over 1 million tons of cashew nuts crops but faces difficulties in the packaging process.
Jadi kita minta pihak investor atau developer di Sarawak ni untuk tengok itu opportunity yang ada dekat Kamboja, dan juga itu pelabuhan yang ada dekat sana. Kita boleh buat satu terminal, ya, satu terminal untuk supplykan minyak, gas, ya, LPG, LNG, ya, dekat sana.
He also disclosed that the Sarawak Premier will send a delegation to Cambodia for this purpose. Also, at the same event, Cambodia has proposed to the Sarawak government to establish direct flights from Kuching to Phnom Penh when Sarawak-owned airlines AirBorneo commenced operations. Deputy Minister in the Sarawak Premier's Department Project Coordinator for Regional Development Agencies, DBKU and Islamic Affairs, Datuk Dr. Abdul Rahman Junaidi said the proposal was presented by Cambodia's Senior Minister in charge of Special Missions, Islamic Affairs, Datuk Dr. Orman Hassan, to the Sarawak Premier, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari, to Datuk Abang Openg.
Satu ialah permohonan daripada pihak yang berbahagia untuk pihak yang berhormat memasukkan Phnom Penh sebagai destinasi sekiranya sistem penerbangan Sarawak nanti, AirBorneo, memulakan perkhidmatan. Jadi dimohonkan supaya ada laluan ataupun penerbangan khas daripada Phnom Penh ke Kuching ke Phnom Penh, masukkan dalam senarai. Jadi telah pun disampaikan kepada Yang Berhormat Premier tadi.
Earlier, according to Datuk Dr. Othman, the flight from Cambodia to Sarawak currently takes over 10 hours, including transiting from Kuala Lumpur to Kuching, but it can be shortened to less than 3 hours through a direct flight. Among other things discussed was the application to send students from Phnom Penh to study at the International Islamic School, which is currently still in the process on being built. Datuk Dr. Abdul Rahman said that the secondary school students from Phnom Penh will be invited to study at this school at a later date.
Dan sebenarnya soalan ini disebut sebagai soalan antarabangsa kerana ia akan mengambil kira pengambilan pelajar daripada negara-negara minoriti Islam yang menjadi anggota RIYAZ. Jadi anggota RIYAZ adalah negara-negara minoriti Islam di kawasan Asia Tenggara dan juga di Pasifik, Kepulauan Pasifik. Jadi termasuk Cambodia adalah ahli pada RIYAZ. Jadi pelajar daripada negara-negara ini akan dijemput untuk belajar di sekolah antarabangsa nanti.
Sarawak is exploring strategic investment opportunities with Japan in the aviation and aerospace sectors, with strong focus on establishing a world-class maintenance, repair and overhaul MRO hub in the state. Sarawak Deputy Premier, who is also the Minister for International Trade, Industry and Investment, Mintrade, Dato' Ahmad Awang Tengah Ali Hassan, led the state delegation in a meeting with the Civil Aviation Bureau of Japan's Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism, MLIT, at the ministry's office in Tokyo on Wednesday local time. The meeting also involved senior executives from Airport Facilities Co. Limited, Airport Facilities Asia Private Limited, and Galax Incorporated to discuss potentials, collaborations and investments in Sarawak's aviation industry. Discussions centered on Sarawak's strategic advantages, including its expanding air connectivity, its prime location in the heart of Southeast Asia, and the state government's strong support for the growth of high-value industries. Dato' Ahmad Awang Tengah reiterated the Sarawak government's commitment to providing a conducive investment environment for foreign investors through competitive incentive, the development of a skilled workforce and strategic infrastructure investments. This engagement forms part of Sarawak's broader mission in Japan to strengthen trade, investment and technology partnerships across key sectors, further cementing the state's role a dynamic gateway to ASEAN. On to some sports news. A total of 213 officials and athletes will represent Sarawak at the 2025 Malaysia Water Supply Games AirBorneo to be held in Selangor from 21 to 25 this month. The contingent will be led by Chief of Mission, Ingenious Technologist Awang Muhammad Fadilah Awang Rizwan, with the theme set to compete in 13 sporting events. The flag handover ceremony for the Sarawak contingent, held at the LCDA Auditorium, was officiated by the Sarawak Minister for Utility and Telecommunications, Datuk Sri Julaihi Narawi, who expressed appreciation to the organisers and congratulate all selected athletes, coaches and officials.
Kita berjuang bukan sahaja untuk pingat, tetapi untuk mengukuhkan persaudaraan dan membina reputasi Sarawak sebagai wilayah yang cemerlang dalam segala bidang.
He stressed that AirBorneo is not merely a competitive platform but also an opportunity to strengthen camaraderie among water supply sector personnel nationwide, foster greater interstate cooperation and share ideas and best practice to enhance water supply services. According to him, the values learned through sports such as discipline, perseverance, resilience and teamwork align closely with the daily responsibilities of ensuring clean and uninterrupted water supply for the people. As such, he hoped the spirit and teamwork displayed during the championship would be carried forward into efforts to improve Sarawak's water supply system. Permodalan Satok Berhad PSB, a Sarawak-based property investment company, has signed a Memorandum of Understanding MOU with Malaysian Hospitality Group, RIYAZ International Sdn Berhad, to form a strategic partnership in the management of hotel, assets and convention venues in Kuching. Minister for Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, described the partnership as a significant moment in Kuching's journey as a leading tourism destination in the region.
Strategic partnership between PSB and RIYAZ is an inspired union of vision, of resources and expertise, one that will signal a new era of hospitality excellence in Sarawak.
He said this during his speech at the signing ceremony of the MOU between PSB and RIYAZ International Sdn Berhad, which took place at the Hikmah Exchange, an event centre here on Wednesday. Through the signing of this MOU, both parties will finalise a joint venture agreement JVA to establish RIYAZ JV Co, a joint ventures entity that will operate and manage selected branded hotels and major convention facilities in the city. In this regard, PSB will contribute strategic assets, while RIYAZ International will provide expertise in world-class brand selection and management strategies. And that's the English edition with me, Hana Elias. More news can be found in our official portal, ukas.sarawak.gov.my and social media platforms including Facebook and YouTube. We end the bulletin with coverage of the 24th ASEAN-China senior officials meeting on the implementation of the Declaration on the Conduct DOC held at a hotel in Kuching on Wednesday evening. #Saluran Informasi Rakyat. Have a good night.